So this is a special Muse message for Mr. Robert at Custodian Files, who I sent this to earlier today. Robert, I have to recommend Moby, In This World, official music video, where some little tiny aliens come to visit Earth, but they are unnoticed by the general people, with the exception of one or two people like yourself, so they have to go home and make a bigger sign, so they will be noticed by more people. And then he replied, "Thank you, brother," and threw me the link to Moby. The music video is titled In This World by the artist Moby. And I would guess that this might have even drawn tears from Mr. Files, Custodian Files. Because this is his real life experience. That's how real this is. That I suspect this might have actually drawn tears. I've never made such a claim about any of the Muse messages before. But let's look through this music video, In This World by Moby, and the message that it delivers that overlaps myself and Robert from Custodian Files, who has shown us these little tiny UFOs that are 1 inch to 10 inches and doing about 2,000 miles an hour and predictable to the point where he's got like 6,000 videos of them. He could get 10 or 15 of them a day. So here they are on their home planet. They're going to go to Earth. And this person's pointing out Earth like in a PowerPoint presentation. This is where we're going. Okay, big blue marble. And the people standing around going, okay, we're going to Earth, gotcha. And these are the humans that we're going to visit. Giving them a PowerPoint presentation, showing them what these humans are about, what to expect, what you look for. And these are the humans, okay? Everyone got that? All right, gotcha, we're going. And so now they start loading up on their spaceship and they're going to take off. And it's a fond farewell. This guy even looks like he sheds a tear. Salutes them as they're taking off. They all pile in. And away they go. They're off to planet Earth to introduce themselves to the humans. And they're cruising through space. And they pass another fellow traveler in the Puniverse. And they're approaching planet Earth, coming in for landing. Cruising in above the rooftops of the skyscrapers in the big city. They're coming in for a landing. There they go. They've touched down. And they drop the stairs, pile on out, and they got their little hand-painted signs that say hello and hola and hi. Hola is hello in Spanish. And as you can see, there's a size differential here. This is all them in their ship. This is the feet of a person walking by. So one step by someone's feet could squish them. Now let me show you something here real quick that I didn't notice until I took all these still frames, and it's very relevant, very pertinent to the whole moral of the story and the basis of this Muse message. Notice these blurry horizontal lines on this person's foot. This is like indicating an interdimensional nature or a distortion field, an electromagnetic distortion field that creates waves and ripples. And you can notice it here, the lines going through them. They're out of focus. And these lines that are going through them. There's some shots where they show them perfectly clear, like that. And they're all piling off of their little mini spaceship. And there's a bunch of these where you can see they're blurred out. That's his sign. Look at his sign that he's holding. It's turned sideways right now, but it's blurred out. Like an interdimensional distortion field is preventing it from being very clear. See how right there it says hi, but it's got lines going through it. Many of these pictures, these screenshots I took, just highlighting the blurry part. Now some person walking by, their dog can smell and see these little aliens on the ground. But for the most part, everyone walking by doesn't even notice. But the dog notices. And again, notice the person's feet. Out of focus, blurry. This is indicating something And the eye can only see what the mind is willing and able and capable of perceiving. Now, the only people that would notice these aliens, like Robert from Custodian Files, is someone that would also notice these little lines. These little tiny lines go through all throughout the video, and it just keeps distorting here and there and everywhere, but it's usually not the whole screen. It's part of the screen here, part of the screen there, the upper part of the H and hello. The rest of the words are less blurry. And this is a repeating theme all throughout the entire video. And someone like me who notices that goes, huh, that was inserted for a reason. The distortion field that they're showing you is inserted by someone for a reason, intelligently. Again, they're all blurred out and distorted. This is something the average person does not notice while they're watching this music video. They watch the whole music video and never notice this layer of the Muse message. The reason Robert at Custodian Files might find this even more interesting, because they do put out a distortion field, some sort of waveform that creates a interference waveform pattern. Notice the front of this bumper. It's exaggerated. Over here in this corner, this person's back of their legs walking by. In some frames, there is no blurriness. Other frames, it's just different parts of the scene. But it's inserted intentionally. Look at this guy's foot, all blurry, and then it'll become crisp and clear. Little better. Pretty crisp, pretty clear. They're showing you something here. This guy bends over to tie his shoes, and he doesn't even see him. It's right in front of him. He almost stepped on him. He's tying his shoes right there in front of him, and still can't even see him. I think I might have skipped a frame, but he gets up and walks away. Anyway, he doesn't even notice him. They're all trying to get the attention of the people, yet they cannot. I relate to this. We'll talk about that in a minute, how my experience with plasma fire and people who won't notice or pay attention is similar to Robert's experience with these little UAP dragons, UFOs, as is depicted here in this music video. Now they're over here on like a napkin, and those are leaves all around them, so they're really tiny, these little guys. And over here is full-grown humans having a picnic on their blanket. Just a larger version of the same experience as these guys. These guys even have a little bone in his hand for the dog. This is their alien dog. Here, she's handing her dog a bone. Same experience in the fractal verse, just one dimension up in size, or maybe a few dimensions in size, because they're tiny compared to us. And so they're still trying to get the attention of the humans, but it's becoming real difficult. They're walking around with their signs, trying to keep the faith. And over here, they're down here by the back of this bicycle that's missing the wheels off of it. Again, notice the distortion field all over in these frames. And that there are some of them that don't that don't have the distortion field. The fact that there are some frames that are perfectly crystal clear shows that it's not some sort of technicality. Every pixel in these is intentional. But it looks almost like the effect you get when you're moving a camera and taking video at the same time with a low-grade camera. And on these screens they see a guy bouncing on the moon. And it's kind of disheartening to them. because they're here bouncing on our planet and we don't even see them. So over here they climb up on a table, on one of these tables. There they are. Right there next to the plate and the empty glass. Surely they'll be noticed by the waitress up here, right? Nope. Waitress takes the plate, walks away, and doesn't even notice them. Again, notice the distortion fields on the shoe, on the sign. So he walks up in front of this guy, trying to get this guy's attention that's reading this book. And this guy notices him and waves and smiles. And he's like, finally, sweet, got one of these humans' attention. And he turns around to his buddies. He's like, hey, you guys, I got this guy's attention. He's running back to his buddies over here. Look, I finally got one of them to recognize me. And they're looking at him and he's excited. And as he's coming back to tell him about the good news, I finally got this guy's attention. He was reading a book. He looked right at me and smiled and waved. The guy gets up and walks away. And the little dude that thought he had success finally got the attention of one of these humans. He's really bummed about it. Really bummed about it. Because he just was certain that he had scored a convert. And he's just sitting there in total disbelief. Unbelievable. That guy just got up and walked away. Meanwhile, his friends are walking away like, yeah, sorry, man. It's really a bummer. Sorry. He's like, no, but I swear he looked right at me and waved. And they say, all right, let's get out of here. And they bounce with their distortion field generator ship through the cosmos back to their home planet. And you can see that they're holding paintbrushes. Right? And they just painted a really big sign and they're hoisting it up with ropes. So next time they come back, they've got a bigger sign. And when I'm showing you the trees are burning on the inside, imagine these little guys are the ones that did it. Tried to get the humans' attention with a sign. And we're going to have to do a bigger sign than the trees burning on the inside all around them? Are you serious? They don't notice? They can't see? The hell's wrong with them? They seem like intelligent creatures until you show them something and the eye can only see what the mind is capable of perceiving. And they're like, no, get out of here. We made the trees burn from the inside by the trillions. Surely we got their attention. No? And those that you did get the attention of, they just looked at it just like the guy, said, huh, that's interesting. Got up and walked away. Now, I don't want to get going too hard on a rant because this is really a special Muse message. And I'm glad that Robert got the message. And by texting me back, replying to my comment in one of his videos, thank you, along with the link to that video, shows me that he got the message. And that it might have touched his heart so much it even drew tears. Because this is his real life experience. He has talked about these UAP dragons that he has extensive libraries of, just like I have 6 years of research. This is the 7th summer of Plasma Fire. He has over 6,000 videos of these UAP dragons, and each one of his videos typically has 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 examples of these dragons. Do the math. 6,000 videos times 6 or 8 or 10 means he knows a truth that changed his whole perception of reality. And then he looks around him and sees that people are unaware and unable to see what he can see. As far as these little lines, these little distortion lines, when I zoom in you can see them much more clearly. Notice on this frame, just a couple seconds later, they are not there. Perfectly clear letters. The only kind of person that would notice those little tiny lines and those details and recognize this is being done with intention. This indicates that there is an intelligence on the other side of these distortion field lines, and whoever inserted these in here did it with intention for the purpose of getting the attention of whoever would notice those distortion field lines. Are you following me? The only kind of consciousness that is capable of perceiving that pays attention to details and recognizes the implications that these details, these little blurry lines that aren't there here, but are there over here, those are inserted by someone with intention and purpose. And the reason for inserting those is to get the attention of the viewer, who will be able to see it and recognize what the implication is, that someone put that there for the purpose of you seeing it. The same thing goes for plasma fire. Only people that pay attention to detail would notice something like the trees burning on the inside, or you would think otherwise. Maybe these UAP dragons, let's stick to Robert and Custodian files. Only someone who pays attention the way he does meticulously and is capable of conceiving of these little 2,000-mile-an-hour UFOs that are 1 inch to 10 inches large. Only someone capable of paying attention to that kind of detail and whose mind has flexible plasticity can even begin to see the UAP dragons. And Robert noticed, I'm sure like I have with plasma fire, that most people are like the guy who sees it, looks at it, smiles, gets up, and walks away. And I guarantee he didn't tell anyone throughout the rest of his day. Guess what I saw? I saw these little tiny aliens holding a sign that said hello, and then it said it in Spanish, it said hola, and it said it casually, hi. And they were trying to get our attention and show us that they're here. And so these little guys had to go back home. We're going to have to build a bigger sign. Why? Because the trees burning on the inside didn't get their attention? Yep. Are you serious? You gotta be kidding me. Nope. They seem like intelligent creatures, though. What happens when you hit them with something that's outside of their paradigm, their self-image and worldview? They completely block it out as if it's not there. They disregard it. They can't see it. They blind themselves. Their mind's eye is incapable of conceiving of themselves being anything besides the only intelligent beings in the universe. So when you show them something, so we went there and we lit the trees on fire. 1, 2, 3, do you love me? Watch me scream, burning on the trees in amazement, 'cause I'm on fire. 4, 5, 6, show you all my tricks. Fee, fi, fo, a giant's at the door in amazement, 'cause I'm on fire. Can I get an amen for all the bleeding and the praying? I had to struggle to be gracious when I'm the only one that can see this and everyone else is blind. Now you can touch it, you can taste it. Taste the smoke. Taste the smoke. This is no joke. 15 years, blood, sweat, and tears in amazement, 'cause I'm on fire. We went there and we lit the trees on fire on the inside by the trillions, and we didn't get the attention of the humans? No. They're that oblivious. They are that insulated in their life, in their daily routine. They can't be bothered. But we put it right out there in the open for everyone to see. Right there on the side of the freeway where millions and millions and millions of people pass these internally burnt trees every day. Yep, right there on the walking paths, on the driving paths. We put it everywhere. They were incapable of seeing it. We're going to have to get a bigger sign. How can you make a bigger sign than burning the trees on the inside all around them? If they can't see that, they're gone. Well, I guess we could take the few of them that do see it and wage a 6-year campaign trying to get the attention of those who don't see it to draw their attention towards it. Maybe that'll work. That'll be a big enough sign to maybe get a larger group, because it seems that this culture of consciousness is going to be a total loss. 8 billion, and we can't get the attention of other than a few hundred? The ratio of per capita consciousness that is aware and that which is completely obliviously unaware, because ignorance is bliss and they are comfort-seeking, comfort junkies, and thus they maintain their own self-ignorance, willful and intentionally, to maintain their comfort zone. We got to be able to dislodge them from their comfort zone. But we can't even get them to notice the trees burning on the inside. What kind of sign do you suggest we could do if that didn't get their attention? Oh, we got some bigger tricks up our sleeves. Watch this.